Inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. No, I have no. I mean, it's not a problem.
Okay.
But we are going to have a little unconventional kind of questions. Means I don't want to talk like what do you like to eat and what do you
Oh,
like to
definitely.
do. That's not our part.
Definitely.
I want to
Definitely.
ask thought as a thought leader. I want to know certain things which everybody can learn of you. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah, that is my main concern is. So okay, so let me see. Okay, participant. So I'm going to take off the screen for just 30 seconds to introduce you,
Sure.
and I'll bring it back.
Yes.
So is it the time? Yes, exactly. Mm, okay. Okay. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum, namaskar, wherever you are. This is your friend Dr. Faz with a new episode of Live with Dr. Faz. Hope you all are doing well, enjoying this beautiful summer and getting out of this pandemic situation. Today we have a guest. She is an international icon. She's a thought leader. She's a TEDx speaker. She's a life coach, trainer, international inspirational speaker, and she is a great storyteller too. She's a certified coach, trainer, and speaker by John Maxwell team. She's a very internationally renowned, iconic Toastmaster around the world. Today we have the street. She is with us, and we are going to know exactly what the struggle she have been through and what the life she has. So let me welcome my guest. You are going to learn a lot of things. If you have a pen and pad ready, take some notes. I know you are going to learn a lot. So help me welcome my friend, the great Toastmaster and international speaker, Sadika Kebbi. Sadika Kebbi. And let me, yes, Sadika, can you turn on your camera, please?
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. I'm really humbled by your introduction. Thank you so much, Doctor.
It's my pleasure, Sadika, to
Thank
have
you.
you on the show. And truly, it's a treat for every viewer and listener who's listening and viewing this. And they are going to view later on, too, because, you know, I have a huge following in Pakistan and India and Bangladesh. And usually it's a late night there. So, but you'll see how many viewers they will jump in.
Thank you.
So first of all, I mean, it's just a tradition and it's a very conventional style, which I usually don't want to do that kind of interview, at least with you, because you are an international thought leader. But still, people would like to know a little bit your background. So would you be kind enough to give a little brief introduction? Then we'll go from with the question and answer session.
Okay. So I started my career as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I used to teach English in schools. And then slowly, I grew and I became a professor at university. So I taught in two universities in Beirut.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing, I specialized in Shakespeare and creative writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like 12 years ago, I had an opportunity to train in a very well-known company in Lebanon.
Oh.
And here I felt like I found myself in training and I liked it because I'm very people oriented and I felt like in training I could reach out to more people than just staying at the university. So I got a job offer as a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And I quit university and I started building up on my skills as a trainer and speaker. And slowly, I became a certified John Maxwell because I needed a real leadership program.
Exactly.
And I Googled, actually, I did a Google search And all the Google searches led to John Maxwell, and I felt this is where I should be. And I joined the team in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since, I have been building on my skills. I became an NLP practitioner. I also became a meta coach, and I added a lot of certifications as emotional intelligence and public speaking and all the skills I needed as a trainer. So this
Wow.
is in brief my journey, if you want.
Yeah, actually, even me and you have exactly same story how we
Oh,
got it.
really?
Yeah, literally, because I wanted to enhance my public skills, speaking skills. I was a good Toastmaster, for a long time.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I thought that if I'm speaking already, but so Toastmaster taught me how to speak,
Yes.
but they didn't tell me what to speak. So the
Yes.
John Maxwell gave me the content to speak about.
Yes. Exactly. It's kind
So
of they come together in a way.
yeah, so I blended
Yeah.
same thing both in one,
Yes.
and since then I became a professional speaker, and I've been speaking all over the world. But that's a similar story. But I was just curious, why did you pick that, especially like English literature? I mean, you said you were
Yes.
that was just amazing. I mean, were you interested since your childhood, or just it's
Okay.
accidental?
No, there's another story here. So
Okay.
my first major
Hmm.
was in political science and public administration
Okay.
at the American University in Beirut. And I
Yes.
had this dream of becoming an ambassador to Lebanon.
Hmm.
Uh, but I got married at a young age.
Hmm.
I was still at university and I got married, but I continued my studies. I didn't stop.
Hmm.
And then I decided to take kind of a leave so I can build my family, because I believe that priority goes to the children first. So I decided to work from home. I worked as a translator.
Ah,
Yes, and I used to translate documents from English to Arabic and from French to Arabic because I have three languages.
wow.
And once my children were, yeah, I mean, fine, if you want, or they could be a bit independent, they were
Hmm.
all going to school.
Hmm.
I really discovered that I have this passion for English literature, and I went back to university again.
Hmm.
And I did another BA with English literature.
Oh,
I did my teaching diploma, and I started teaching while I was at the university.
wow.
And then I did my master's in comparative literature, and I built on American literature and French literature.
Hmm.
And my thesis was published. And I really had this passion for Shakespeare and creative writing,
Hmm.
especially because, as you know, I turned into a storyteller later. So creative writing and storytelling, they also blend
Hmm.
together
Hmm.
because you need to write the story before you tell it.
Okay.
And then the whole shift came into training afterwards.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, so my question is, I mean, this is definitely for the viewers' point of view,
Yes.
that you say two different terminology. I would like you to elaborate on that. Number one is the creative writing,
Yes.
you said, and number two was storytelling. So
Yes.
these are two different things for the viewers who are not from this industry where we are. So
Okay.
can you elaborate what do you mean by creative writing?
Okay. So creative writing is to learn the different styles of writing. Like you have fiction, nonfiction, biography, autobiography, short stories, novels,
Mm-hmm.
uh, movies,
Mm-hmm.
theater. All this falls under creative writing. So I
Yeah.
really had the passion
Mm-hmm.
to specialize in that. And I actually gave a course on that at the university. And I had, you can say I had a different style than other teachers. I'm someone who doesn't like theory. I like to teach with hands-on all the time. So for
Oh, okay.
example, if we were doing short stories, I would take them to spend a full day at an elderly, retreat house,
Mm-hmm.
So they would spend the full day with one of the elderlies. They would learn their stories. They would interview them. They would gather lots of information, and then they would write a
Mm-hmm.
profile story about them.
Mm-hmm.
So creative writing is, in my opinion, for a public speaker and for a storyteller, it completes the whole
Mm-hmm.
package,
Exactly.
because it helps you outline your speech, it helps you outline your story,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps you also understand that you need to have those literally literary tools to add to your story, like metaphor, the simile, all those figures of speech that can help your audience
Mm-hmm.
visualize what you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
and see what is happening. So it's kind of complementary if you want. They
Of course.
come together, I believe, and they
Mm-hmm.
enhance your skills as public speaker and storyteller.
So,
And it helped me,
mhm.
sorry,
No,
and
no,
it
go ahead.
helped me, it also helped me in writing my 2 books, which are already on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it comes all together as a package.
Okay, would you like to tell the names of those books?
Okay, the first book is academic, actually. It's called The Temptations of the Flesh and Madame Bovary and the Awakening, which are
Okay.
two novels, one French, one American. And I had, if you want, a professional study and analysis to those 2 novels, and it was published.
Mm-hmm.
The next one was 20 short stories collected in one book, and it's entitled The Hidden Face of Scheherazade.
Shahrazad. Wow.
Yes, those stories are based on real stories
Mm-hmm.
that took place in North Lebanon, especially in an underprivileged area, which is,
Mm-hmm.
by the way, it's one of the most underprivileged areas in the Middle East. It has been
Wow.
rated #1.
Mm-hmm.
And the stories you have there are really painful, and those people need real help, I mean. And I wanted, it's kind of an eye opener to what is
Mm-hmm.
happening in that area.
Wow. So my point is, storytelling. In nutshell, I can say now after listening you, that public speaking is nothing but the storytelling. You have to learn the storytelling skill. Uh,
Yes,
am I right?
yes, because let me tell you something, especially personal storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to reach out to the heart of your audience,
Mm-hmm.
you have to share your
Of
experience.
course.
We all have different experiences. We
Mm-hmm.
all go through different situations, but we all share the same feelings and emotions.
Yes.
And if I touch your heart
Mm-hmm.
with my story, you're not going to forget it. And
Mm-hmm.
then this, by the way, when you share your story,
Mm-hmm.
this is where the inspiration and motivation comes from. So when your audience is listening and they look at you and they say, if she did it, I can do it.
Of course. Yeah.
If he did it, I can do it. So
Yeah.
it really motivates people to find a way so they can get through whatever obstacle they are facing or whatever challenge they're going through.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. So tell me a little bit about your biggest failure in life. I'm starting with a little negative, but people want to know because you're a thought leader,
Yes,
and we want to see how you cope with that. That's the important part of that.
yes. Well, we all fail. We all go through those falling forward, as John calls
Yes.
it, and
Hmm.
it's a learning. I wouldn't like to say call it failure, because
Hmm.
I learned from John as our mentor
Yeah.
that these are the learning experiences. Um, my worst failure, if you want, was when I couldn't cope between my family and my career, if you want, or my passion.
Uh-huh.
At some point, at some point, I neglected, and I really admit here that I neglected um, my children, if you want.
Mm.
It's not in the meaning of
Yeah.
neglect, it was a terrible thing, but I didn't give them quality time.
Of course.
I didn't give them enough time.
Hmm.
But something happened that made me feel that priority is always the family and especially your children,
Yes.
because your children are your legacy. Your children are your investment. Your children are everything that you leave behind when you're gone. And your children will pass on your legacy to their children, and it goes on and on, and it evolves.
Yes.
So at some point, I was doing my master's while
Mm-hmm.
my son was doing his BA at the university.
Oh,
So we were together at the same university.
yeah.
Yes. And he graduated a year before I did.
Mm.
And the next term, when I came and I wanted to pay my fees, there was this cashier sitting behind the desk. He asked me, "How is Abdul Qadir related to you?" This is my son's name.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "He's my son. Why are you
Wow.
asking?" And he says, "I'm sure you don't know what your son has done at the university while he was a student." And I was, oh my God, he might have done something terrible.
Yeah.
But there was a surprise there for me. And he said, "I just want to tell you that your son is a great observer."
Mm-hmm.
He noticed that one of the students couldn't afford paying his university fees. And he started working at the university, and with his pocket money, he taught the student on his own expense, and they graduated last year together.
Wow. Wow.
And this was a moment of pride, and at the same time a moment, where have you been? You didn't know
Yeah.
what your son was doing,
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
So I wanted to enjoy those moments. I mean, the cashier had enjoyed this and I
Mm-hmm.
haven't.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a turning point. No,
Yes.
Sadia, you have to go back to really
Mm-hmm.
giving quality time to your kids, listen to them, see what's happening in their life. And yeah, this was really powerful on
Mm-hmm.
both sides.
Of course. Yeah. No, definitely. So now let me ask an contrary question, because we
Yeah.
did talk about the failures. Greatest accomplishment of your life. What do you say?
Oh, my 4 children.
Marvel.
Yeah,
Yeah. How
my
old?
four
How old are
children.
they?
Well, let me tell you, I'm a grandmother.
Oh, congratulations. I am too.
Thank you.
Grandpa.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my daughter is 38 years old. She
Okay.
has 3 children,
Hmm.
and she's also an English teacher.
Wow.
She also studied the philosophy and literature.
Hmm.
Abdul Qadir is 38. There's 1 year difference
Hmm.
between them.
Okay.
And then I have Ramzi, who is 34. And I
Hmm.
have Rami, the youngest, is 25.
Alhamdulillah.
So yeah, Alhamdulillah. And
Yeah.
yes, I'm really, this is my greatest achievement
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
because um, I'm really so proud of them, and they are adding value to their community wherever they are.
Yeah.
And this is what makes me, I mean, I did a great job here. I tell
Yes.
myself, Sadika, you've
Yes.
done a great job here.
Oh, that's awesome. And obviously, that's the main and major, I think, that responsibility God gave us to raise our kids right.
Yes,
So, and if you did that, I think that you did your part. Now it's up to God. He,
yes.
he is rewarding authority who's going to reward you. But that's a really good.
Yeah.
So now my other question is going to be, if tell me a little bit about Sadia's a typical day, how you spend the whole day, a typical day of yours. People would love to know that what's the life all about in Beirut, and as well as for a thought leader like you.
Yeah. So I wake up for the morning prayers. I immediately, when I finish, I cook.
Oh.
Yeah, I do my cooking. I don't like anybody to cook for me or for the
Mhm.
family. And my day starts from there. I start preparing because almost every day I have a workshop or a training. So I start preparing for my workshop, and then I do some writing. I have to do some writing on daily basis. By at least I have to write like for half an hour every day. And by the way, I let my pen flow.
Mm.
I just jot ideas everywhere. And
Yeah.
when it comes, yeah, I mean, when the right time comes, I start, if you want, putting ideas together and selecting which idea goes with which idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I do this writing every day like a habit. And it helps me, by the way. I find that writing, because maybe I did creative writing as well, I find that this is therapy as well, especially when we go through hard times like
Yeah.
now the blast we went through.
Yes.
So I feel once you put your feelings and those thoughts you have in your head,
Mm-hmm.
because if you leave the thoughts here,
Yeah.
you only add to the negative, you know,
Exactly. Exactly.
and it's like ruminating on the
Mm-hmm.
negative ideas and thoughts. But when you put them out on a paper and you visualize them, you see them, this is your first step towards therapy. The next step I do is I read them with a loud voice so I can hear them. And once I do that a couple of times, I start sharing with my children or with my husband or with anyone here at home. And then slowly with friends, and you start feeling better about
Mm-hmm.
things. And then those thoughts and ideas develop into a book
Of
at
course.
some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
And around 10 in the morning, I hit the gym.
Okay.
I
Awesome.
go to the gym. I have to exercise. I do it 4 times per week at least.
Yeah. Well.
Yes. And then when I come back, of course, we have the family lunch, which I won't miss, because there has to be at least one meal, if
Yes.
not lunch, dinner, with all the family together, because this is where you share also your feelings, your thoughts,
Exactly.
your ideas,
Yeah.
everything. Okay. And then in the afternoon, my workshops begin, especially now because it's online.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them are done in the afternoon.
Well.
And especially now because I started an NGO 4 years ago under the name of Being Human.
Ah.
Yes. And thank God through the NGO, I'm getting kind of uh, financial aid
Mm-hmm.
to do projects on social cohesion and peace building.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing those projects through public speaking and storytelling. And Dr. Faz, it's magic what is
Ah.
happening through storytelling, especially personal storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
It's bringing people from different political, religious backgrounds
Mm-hmm.
together like magnets, because they're discovering that they're sharing the same pain
Yeah.
and the same feelings and the same emotions. And they're discovering that they are just suffering from the same issues that we have here in Lebanon. So it's
Mm-hmm.
bringing people together very strongly.
Oh, that's awesome. No,
Yeah. So
definitely. Definitely, it's an awesome thing.
so this is what I'm doing usually on daily basis now.
Okay. So, how about you have some specific reading time for yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. There is a reading time.
Mm-hmm.
Before I came online with you, I was reading.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
that's awesome.
there has to be 1 hour per day for reading as well. I don't have a specific time. It depends on how I can. It might be bedtime, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mostly before I go to bed, because the morning is almost full. So
Oh,
it's mostly in the evening.
okay. And, and
Because I stopped watching television a long time ago.
me too.
Yeah,
I
so
don't watch.
instead
I
of
don't watch. I
exactly.
can't take negatives.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what kind of books you read?
Okay, so John Maxwell is on the list.
Obvious.
Yes, obviously. I read also lots of novels because I
Hmm.
love fiction as
Yeah.
well.
Hmm.
And now I'm reading some Arabic books, by the way, for a very well-known professor. He used to teach at the American University. His name is Sami Makarim.
Sami Makaram. Okay.
Yes, so I'm reading a book in Arabic. It's called the Ashiqatullah.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know how to translate this into English. It's the women who loved God, if you want. So it's like Rabia al-Adawiya and those people who really had the ishq for God, if you want. So this is the book I'm reading right now.
Awesome. So if I would ask my viewers would like to know, can you recommend three good books for self development or personal growth? So what will be
Okay,
your three picks?
okay. So definitely the 15 laws of growth. This is what I call the John Maxwell Bible.
Yes, yes.
It's a must read.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a book for Robin Sharma. It's called
Yes.
the 5
5
a.m.
a.m.
Club.
Yes.
That's also a
Mm-hmm.
must. I guess this is one of the books that influenced me that my day has to start at 5. I
Exactly.
mean,
Exactly.
morning prayers and yalla, we have to
Mm-hmm.
go for it. I mean, don't
Yeah.
go to bed
Mhm.
again.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the third book I would say would be also a John Maxwell book, the 21 leadership
Irrefutable laws.
irrefutable laws.
Yes. Yes. So I graduated it. It means because all three books I read it,
Yeah,
and not only I read it, I teach those books
yes,
because
they're
I just finished 15 in laws of growth, invaluable laws of growth with my Pakistani friends in Urdu.
oh
I
nice,
did the mastermind group, and
amazing.
then 21 irrefutable laws of growth. I've been doing these masterminds and all these teachings.
Yes,
So and 5 a.m. Club, I love that Robin Sharma's book.
yes,
It's one of the
it's
classic. Yeah. No, I'm glad.
exactly.
So I'm glad that I am qualified. So how do you see the future of this world after this post-pandemic era? How it's going to be after this pandemic situation?
You know something, Dr. Faz, many people have asked me this question, and I always say, because I'm a storyteller,
Yes.
you can never tell a story if you don't have an ending.
Hmm.
And we still don't have the end of COVID-19. We
Hmm.
still haven't reached that final solution, if you want, or resolution of the problem.
Yeah.
So I can know what's going to be, it's going to be like. But I can tell you something. For me as a person, I'm going to be more uh, empathetic, more
Hmm.
compassionate, more
Hmm.
understanding. And I developed uh, throughout my life and experience, I developed what I call my golden rule, which is the SFTU
It's
rule,
FTU. Okay.
SFTU, which is seek first to understand.
Wow. That's
Seek first to understand.
yeah. That
And I
is.
guess I'm going to be more understanding more than I am now,
Hmm.
because we people tend to judge and we people tend to build up conclusions without even asking and trying to understand before judging and building up conclusions on our own.
No, that's awesome. Like I usually have my acronym is a leader. How you can become a leader. So leader, the first L is stands for listening. The other E is stands for empathy, empathy. Then A stands for ask question,
Yes,
and then D stands for once you ask question, don't interrupt.
true.
And then the second E stands for now evaluate.
Yes.
And then last word, the R stands for then respond.
Oh, I love that.
So once you do all those steps,
True.
definitely now you know exactly what the problem is. You empathize it, You heard it, you asked the question, you got the response. Now it's easy to evaluate for you and give a good
Yes.
response as a leader, so people will love you. That he is the person who really listens carefully, cares about us.
Yes, that's so
So
true.
that's my acronym, but it's
Yeah,
very
I love
similar.
it.
Yeah.
It
So
is similar, yes.
mm, yeah, it's basically the essence is same. So if people, somebody, especially the young generation,
Mhm,
now they are online after this COVID-19. Everybody got a little more in growing themselves because they are not wasting time. They have plenty of time to sit on computers and learning from YouTube and
mhm.
Google and all kind of stuff. So if they, and I saw here's like a whole flooded internet now. Everybody wants to be a motivational speaker,
Mhm.
and which is good, but at the same time, being a seasoned speaker, international inspirational speaker, would you mind to give at least couple or two or three major basic skills they have to become a great speaker?
Okay. Well, major skills, first of all, it's understanding.
Okay.
So you have to understand your audience. You have to know your audience. That
Yes.
comes first.
Yes.
And then you cater to the need of your audience. The
Mm-hmm.
next one you should know is the need.
Need. Mm-hmm.
So if I go on stage and I don't target the need of my audience, I cannot reach to their hearts.
Yeah.
So I really need to know my audience and what is their need. This comes first.
Mm-hmm.
And then uh, if you want all the other package, like the facial expressions, the intonation, the body language,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion and according to my experience,
Mm-hmm.
if you allow yourself to be authentic
Mm-hmm.
and you are, I mean, your authenticity and your credibility and your vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
those three, if they flow from your heart,
Yeah.
your body will speak alone,
Mm-hmm.
your face will speak alone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to learn them even
Yeah.
because you're feeling them
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it will come naturally to you. So you have, in other than your audience and the need of your audience, you have to be authentic,
Yep.
you have to have credibility,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because when you're vulnerable, you are human
Yep.
and your audience really connect to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you really get to the heart of your audience and they will remember you forever. It's true, they won't remember the words,
Mm-hmm.
as Maya Angelou said.
Mm-hmm.
They will never remember your words, but they will remember how you made them feel.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very true.
It is true, definitely, and it's a great, definitely tips for our newbies who wants to become international or national speakers, and they want to be on stage talking about some inspirational and motivational talks. So now you can see what do you need to get started. It's going to take a while. It's a long journey.
Yeah, of
Yeah, a lot of
course.
time. Yeah, there is no popcorn speakers here.
Exactly.
You have to pay, and I mean, definitely, you have to.
But
Um,
what is, you know, something I would like to add here,
mhm,
uh, if you take speaking seriously and you really want to be speakers,
mhm,
you can start training with your family. You can start
mhm.
training with your kids because you're always speaking.
Yes.
And you can start having your own style even when you speak to your close ones, even when you
Hmm.
speak to your friends.
Hmm.
And slowly, your audience will grow
Yeah. Hmm.
and you will grow as a speaker as well.
Of
So
course.
you
Yeah.
can train every single day.
Yeah. No, it is definitely. I mean, like Darren Lacroix always says, stage time, stage time, stage time. Means
Yes,
wherever you have an opportunity to speak, speak.
exactly.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
you can only become a speaker when you are going to speak.
Yes.
So you don't have to be perfect to start. You have to start to be perfect.
Yes,
So
that's true.
so, so that's the whole thing is. Uh, any special message? in this kind of situation where everybody is going through frustration, confusion, depression, all kind of negative things people have in their mind because of this pandemic, COVID situation, then along with those kind of situations like happened in Beirut and Kashmir and other part of the world, people are really depressed overall. So what would you like to give a message as an international thought leader?
Okay, you reminded me of a quote here, but I don't know, I don't remember who said it.
Hmm.
But this quote has become kind of inspiration for me, especially living in this part of the world where it's always chaos and you don't know what to expect, you know. And this quote says, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice.
Yes.
Pain is inevitable,
Well, and
but
suffering is a
suffering is a choice.
wow. That's
So
awesome.
it's just a mindset. I mean, we're human. It's normal. I will
Hmm.
share my experience. The second day of Beirut's explosion, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't focus on anything.
Hmm.
I was just laying on that couch, listening to the news, watching the screen, watching the damage, watching whatever was happening. The next day, I was up on my feet again and I was on the ground. I immediately, as a leader, my responsibility is to go and help other people in need. So I immediately jumped and went to help others. We started cleaning the houses from the glass, from the from the debris, from everything. And slowly, we started offering food. We're doing lots of stuff. And now I'm attending to psychosocial needs.
Yeah.
I've been seeing people who have been through the
Hmm.
trauma. This is
Yeah.
how you'd feel better.
Hmm.
Serving others is also a therapy for you. And
Yes.
serving others is the best way you can add value and the best way you can help yourself and help others at the same time. So if you're at some point you're feeling down,
Hmm.
please reach out to somebody.
Hmm.
Reach out to somebody who is also in need for your help, or maybe somebody who can help you. Don't stay there. Don't stay in that dark spot.
Hmm.
Either reach out to a mentor, or if you can help somebody who's in need in a worse situation than you are, reach out to those people as well.
Awesome.
So this will pull you up in many ways.
Okay. I mean, you definitely directed me now to the actual final round of question because we are getting closer to the time, and that
Yes.
was my focus was, but you already now directed me. Tell me a little bit because people are very confused about because they don't have any idea what the mentor means and coach means. Would you like to little bit elaborate that for them so when they pick somebody as a coach or as a uh, like a mentor, what should they consider in their mind?
Okay. So a coach, first, if I'm talking life coaching,
Yes.
okay.
Hmm.
So a coach actually, when you go to a coach, they only ask you questions to bring the solution out of you.
Yeah. Hmm.
So we know that each and every person knows the solution,
Hmm.
but because we have lots of, uh, if you want, kind of a fog in our ideas, we don't have focus sometimes, we lose our purpose. We
Yeah.
lose what we really want to do. We lose our main goals and
Hmm.
we lose all this. So you go to a coach to ask them for help to bring out the solution out of you.
You.
And this is really very powerful. When the solution comes out of you, it will really keep you on track
Yeah.
because you discovered it and this is what you really want.
Yeah. Hmm.
As for a mentor is there for advice. A mentor is there to tell you where you went wrong and where you went right. And a mentor is there to help you enhance whatever skills you have
Hmm.
to make them better.
Hmm.
And he is always there also to help you overcome your weaknesses.
Yeah.
So he's there for mainly advice. It's a different style, it's a
Yes.
different approach, totally different from
Yeah.
each other.
No, no, definitely. And that's how I explain all my viewers all the time whenever I teach, and I try to define those things, because coach is a person who discover you from yourself. He helps
Yes,
you to discover yourself from your own personality, while mentor is a person who already been through. He is going to walk you through, or guiding you as a tourist guide. He has been through,
exactly.
so he's going to show. He knows the way, he goes the way, and he shows the way, kind of thing. But
Yes,
a coach is a person who brings yourself out of yourself. I mean,
exactly.
he asks questions,
Exactly.
and you reveal yourself once you have a good coach. So,
Yes.
so I mean, that's awesome. Okay, now the last but not the least, it's a very important question. Uh, do you, like, somebody would like to get some help out of you as an international leader? How they can reach you?
Okay. So you can reach me on Facebook. I'm on social media everywhere.
Okay,
Facebook, Instagram. You can inbox me. I'm gonna give you, if you want, my. I'm on LinkedIn as well.
okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
I can give you my email if you want.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna.
I'm, yeah. You can, yeah, you can send me, and then I will, if
Yeah.
you
I'll
want. Yeah,
send you my email and then you can share it.
yeah, because a lot of people send me these messages in last couple of days, because
Okay.
interview was getting delayed and delayed and delayed. So
Yeah.
they were asking me how we can reach her, because she's definitely from a different part of the world, and if they want to learn from you. And I said, okay, I'll ask this question at the end.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is it. This
I'll
was it.
share. I'll share my email with you,
Sure,
and they
yeah.
can reach
Yeah,
out
that will
and
be
then.
very helpful to
Yeah.
all these youngsters, especially they want to
Yes.
learn how to be a good leader. And with this, I mean, we are right on time, and I would like to thank from bottom of my heart for spending a little
Thank
bit
you.
time with me, sparing time and sharing your ideas. And obviously, everybody learned a lot. And I am expecting that in near future we are going to come again with some different
Inshallah.
questions together, inshallah. But
Inshallah.
in the meantime, my prayers are with all the Lebanese people
Thank you.
who are going through this suffering, and I wish you best, and also be safe, be healthy, and always be positive. Thanks for
Thank you.
spending good time with me. I would love to.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It was my honor. Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye bye.
Goodbye. Bye
Bye.
bye. Thank you.